Hello, I'm Mike, and this is Will, and we are the Tabletop Donkeys.
Hello.
Bringing you issue 16 of Warhammer 40k Conquest today. We've got 5 new models. There's 2 Intercessors, 1 Inceptor, and 2 Hellblasters for the Space Marines. Heading into the issue, we've got some background on the Inceptors themselves. Jump pack infantry with their assault bolters. And again, some background on their war gear and the different other options they have, which unfortunately this kit does not have. Here's the build guide for this week. Eagle, if you own Dark Imperium, you might recognise this is actually one of the sprues from the Dark Imperium starter set. So you can see with the Intercessors, they're not quite easy to build. You do need glue, but they're not proper multi-part posable kits. And you have the Inceptor here with his flying stands as well. And the Hellblasters, basically the same as the Intercessors. And onto the painting guides, it's much the same again. Ultramarines blue. Although one thing I would recommend is to paint the Inceptor off his stand and then glue him on. And William, you actually have some and you pinned them, didn't you?
Yes, I did. So what I did is just drilled a couple of little holes, put a little section of paperclip in between, it's a bit of a nightmare it kind of sits in a little hole and it wobbles back and forth a bit and you've got to keep it in there. I've also seen people on the internet have done it with magnets as well, so putting a little magnet in there to stick him on.
So it's much easier to paint him when he's off the stand. And yeah, more details of it, same stage. So only one mission this week, secure the Fallen, and we'll head into that right now.
Here we are with our mission for this issue. It's the only mission this issue. It's called Secure the Fallen. Apparently the Death Guard are scouring the cargo deck for dead Space Marines in order to steal their gene seed, and the Silver Templars are trying to stop them. You can see there's a diagram of the battlefield there. It's got 2 objectives, one for the Space Marines, one for the Death Guard. I'll show you on the map itself. There's a Death Guard one and the Space Marine one a bit further up. The forces we've got are the Death Guard have the Biologos Putrefier that we got last issue, 5 Plague Marines, 12 Poxwalkers, and the Space Marines have the new guys, that's 2 Intercessors, 2 Hellblasters, and an Inceptor, plus the 3 Intercessors we already had to make a squad of 5. And then for objectives we have victory points measured at the end of the game, which is 5 battle rounds long, 1 victory point if you control your own objective, 3 for the enemies, and then 1 victory point for every enemy unit destroyed. But first, let's have a look at new rules for this issue, and they are for flying units, which is for the Inceptor, who's obviously, you can see here, is in these examples. Flying units can move over terrain with ignoring the vertical distance, so they can just go on top of the box without worrying about the distance up and down. They can fall back and still shoot. Now, the Ultramarine successor chapters like the Silver Templars can do that anyway, but in this case, this takes precedence, so Inceptor doesn't have -1 to hit. And then in the charge phase they work similarly. So they're able to fly over things or over enemy models when they charge, basically. And then we've got the data sheets for the Hellblasters and the Inceptors, which are our new units. The Hellblasters have plasma incinerators, which are basically the same as the Death Guard Champion's plasma gun, but they have a 30-inch range and they're AP of -4, which means they will completely ignore Death Guard armor saves, which is quite scary, but that's all there is to them. The Inceptors are a little bit more different. They have a toughness of 5, like the aggressors. They're armed with assault bolters, which have 3 shots each and an AP of -1 and a strength of 5, and they've got 2 each, so they actually get 6 shots. And then they have a rule called Meteoric Descent, which means they can be set up on the battlefield after the game begins. We're not going to do that because we haven't been introduced to that kind of rule yet. And then when they charge, they can inflict mortal wounds as well. Anyway, we're going to roll off for deployment, and then whoever deploys last gets the first turn, so we're going to do that now. So rolling off for deployment, I've rolled 1.
I rolled 3.
So the Space Marines get to deploy a unit first.
So first I'm going to deploy my Inceptor on my right flank.
And for my first drop, I've deployed my big horde of Poxwalkers on the objective. The rules for the deployment in this game are deploy a model on the objective marker and then every other model within 2 inches of them, so all these guys are within 2 inches of that guy.
So I've decided to put the Intercessors on my left flank, maybe to move around and shoot at your Poxwalkers.
And I'm going to deploy my Biologos Putrefier over here on this objective marker.
Finally, I'm going to put the 2 Hellblasters in the middle.
And then finally I've put my Plague Marines down on my right flank. because I put a unit down last, I get to go first, so we'll be moving into Death Guard turn 1. I'll do the easy thing first. The Poxwalkers are going to advance. They've gone an extra 3 inches, so that means they get to go 7 inches up the board. They've moved up like that. They're holding my objective and generally making use of themselves. Next, we're going to do the Biologist Putrefier. His gun is nowhere near going to be in range, so he's going to advance as well. That's a 4, so he gets to go 9 inches. That's enough to bring him over here to by this box. No, we'll stay a little bit further back, we'll stay by the objective. And finally, we've got the Blade Marines. They're just going to move up to be behind the cover of this box. I'm going to be able to get all of them in cover, but they're within range of the box to reroll ones, and he's more than an inch from the barrel, so he's not going to be in risk of blowing up. So that's it for the movement phase. On to the shooting phase, and we're going to go with this. We're going to go with the Plague Marines first. When I say first, I mean only, because they're the only unit in range. They're going to shoot the Intercessors. You can see them over there. I can all see them. We'll start with the Blight Launchers, as usual. Actually, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to start with the Plasma Gun, and he's going to overcharge. So he's hitting on 3s, but re-rolling 1s thanks to his ammo box. Ooh, double 6, so no worried about blowing up there. Wounding on 2s, just about.
2 6+ armour saves. Made 1.
Made 1, so only 1 Intercessor goes down.
Take him away.
Do the Blight Launchers next, that's 4 shots between the 2 of them. We've got 3 hits so far, re-rolling 1s though. That was a 2, so we've got 3 hits. Yeah, I meant, whatever. The dice were right, I said something wrong. Wounding on 3s, re-rolling 1s. 1 wound, re-rolling 1s. 2 wounds.
2 5+ armour saves.
Made 1 again. D3 damage. 3. So that
Intercessor
blows another 1 away. And finally we've got the 2 bolt guns. That's only 3 dice. 3 hits but re-rolling 1s.
2 hits, re-rolling 1s.
2 hits but re-rolling 1s, that's 3 hits in total. 3... got 3 hits, not doing very well. And triple 6 for wounds, wow.
3 3+ armour saves.
Oh, you can do that as well. Oh, well. So that's it for the shooting phase. No charges, the Poxwalkers advanced. So that'll be it. We're on to Space Marines turn 1.
So the Intercessors are going to move up behind this box so you can all see your Poxwalkers. This guy's just going to fly over.
Yeah, so he can go over that box without penalty. He's got a 10-inch move anyway, so he could probably have even gone round, but...
And the Hellblasters are going to move up a little bit so that you can see your Plague Marines.
Shooting phase?
Yep.
Okay.
So I'll do the Intercessors first. Sarge will throw a frag grenade. 2 potential hits. Hitting on 3s, rolling 1s. 2 hits.
Yeah.
Wounding on 4s. 1 wound.
5+ is resilient. Oh, made that. No, that.
And then 4 bolt rifle shots. Hitting on 3s, rolling 1s.
Re-rolling 1s because the ammo crate, of course.
Yep.
Still no hits.
Wounding on 3s, sorry.
Another wound. But I failed that disgustingly resilient, so a Poxwalker down. Let's go this one away from the back.
So the Inceptor is going to fire his assault bolters. Is that 6 shots?
Yes, so 3 shots for each bolter, and he's got 2 of them.
So hitting on 3s, rolling 1s.
Good thing re-rolling 1s.
4 hits. Strength 5.
Strength 5, so winning on 3s still.
4 wounds.
Not bad. Oh dear, disgustingly resilient.
Ugh.
I made 3 of those.
We took away your +1 to hit at least. And the Hellblasters should be within 15, both of them.
Yep.
So there's 4 shots hitting on 3s.
With their plasma incinerators.
I'm not going to overcharge.
Not going to overcharge. 2 hits.
Wounding on 3s, strength 7. 1 wound.
And I wouldn't normally get an armor save, but I am obscured by the boxes, so I'm going to get a 6+ save. -4. Oh, wow. My rolling has been hot so far this turn. That's it for the shooting phase. No charges being declared. Nothing to do in the morale phase. Should have mentioned it. To the end of last turn, they didn't have to take a morale check, the Intercessors, because they didn't use enough guys. So that'll be on to Death Guard turn 2. In the movement phase, the Poxwalkers have moved like so. This guy's come all the way up here to the end of the box, but he can't be seen by the Hellblasters. The Biologist Putrefier doesn't really have anything to do at the moment, so I think he's just going to move up there a little bit. The Plague Marines, as you can see, have moved out slightly to the side so that they can all get clean shot at those Hellblasters without giving them cover. So onto the shooting phase, we'll start with the Plague Marines. And we're going to do the same thing as we did last time. So we're going to overcharge the Plasma Gun. It hits on 3s, re-rolling 1s. Oh, 2 hits again. It wounds on 2s. This is all the Hellblasters, incidentally, of course. 2 wounds, 2 6+ saves. We've made one of them, so 1 Hellblaster
Take
goes
one
down.
at the front away.
We've got Blight Launchers. 4 hits. Wounding on 3s, re-rolling 1s. 2 wounds.
2 5+. Made both.
Oh, blimey. That's not what I wanted to see. And then Bolt Guns. I've got 3 hits. And 1 wound.
3+. Yep.
And he's fine, so
That's quite lucky.
kind of hoped I'd get rid of both of them. But, well, that's it for the end of the shooting phase anyway, because the Putrefier isn't in range of anything. And we're going to declare with the charge with the Poxwalkers. They're going to declare the Hellblaster, because there's nothing to lose, because you can't see any of them. And we're also going to declare the Intercessors, so they get to Overwatch.
Intercessors will Overwatch. Hitting on 6s, not rerolling 1s.
Yeah, so no re-rolling ones, because it's only in the shooting phase from the ammo crates.
Hitting on 6s.
2 hits.
Wounding on 3s.
2.
2 wounds.
Disgustingly resilient. Fail both of them, so 2 Poxwalkers will go down. Just take these 2 from the back. And they get to make their charge roll. 9 inches, that would be plenty. When the first Poxwalker has moved over there to be in contact with the Hellblaster. And then, actually, now we'll see if we can get rid of him. I'm actually going to put as many guys on him as I can. And there we go, that's their finished charge move. So they're all piling into that Hellblaster, but they're also chaining back to keep these Intercessors in combat as well. And then, to be honest, the Plague Marines might as well declare a long one charge against the Intercessors because they can't see them, so there's nothing to lose. It's going to be probably an 11 or 12 I need. 5 is definitely not going to make it. You know what, I might as well do the same with the Biologos Putrefier because they can't see him, and it's not like I have to keep him alive or anything. So, Fee's also got 5, so I'm pretty sure that's not going to be enough. No, not quite enough with a 5 for that. Poxwalkers have piled in slightly.
You'll get 6 on the Hellblaster and 2 on the Intercessors.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. So we'll do the 6 on the Hellblaster first, that's going to be 12 attacks. 12 attacks, hitting on 5s on the Hellblaster. 1 hit!
Wounding on a 5.
Wounding on a 5. No, nothing. And then we've got 2 on the Intercessors. 4 attacks.
Oh, there you go.
They're better. There's all the hits. Those 2 should have been attacking the Hellblaster. 1 wound.
3+ armor save. Made it.
Made it, so no damage. And you get to strike back.
I'll do the Intercessors first.
Okay.
They've got 7 attacks hitting on 3s, 6 hits, wounding on 3s, 5 wounds.
I made 3 of my resilient rolls, so only 2 Poxwalkers go down. Those 2.
And the Hellblaster has 2 attacks, hitting on 3s. Oh, blimey, 2 hits. 1 wound.
And he takes down another one, so I'll hit. Well, that'll be it for fight phase, and it for Death Guard turn 2, so on to Space Marines turn 2, no morale check for the Poxwalkers because they're mindless.
So first things first, the Hellblaster is going to fall back 6 inches to there.
Let's do that.
Intercessors are going to fall back, well, just enough to get them out of melee.
Yeah, so just a little bit.
And the Inceptor, I think he'll stay where he is. So into the shooting phase. Start with the Hellblaster, firing at the Poxwalkers, 2 shots, hitting on 4s.
Yeah, because he fell back, so he's allowed to shoot and fall back.
Technically just within 2 inches of the box.
Yeah, so he gets to reroll ones.
Hitting on 4s, rerolling 1s. 2 hits anyway. Wounding on 2s. Got strength 7. I wasn't overcharging. 2 wounds.
Disgustingly resilient, made 1. Another Poxwalker goes down.
We'll do the Inceptor with his assault bolters. 6 shots hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s. 4 hits. Wounding on 3s. Only 1 wound.
You're whittling them down though.
And then the Intercessors, 1 will throw a frag grenade. So 6 potential hits. So hitting on 4s, rerolling 1s. So that's 4 hits. Wounding on 4s, 2 wounds.
Another one down.
And finally the 2 bolt rifles from the remaining Intercessors, hitting on 4s, rerolling 1s. Only 1 wound, so you're going to have 1 left at least. Only 1 hit, sorry, and it wounded.
1 lonely Poxwalker left, but he is on your objective. So that's it for shooting. Would the Inceptor like to charge?
Yeah, he will charge actually.
Okay, no Overwatch. He can go straight over his own friendly models.
So he has to get a 3 or a 2 actually, I think, to get an inch. But he's in.
He's in.
Just about fits there.
He's made a charge, and then on a roll of 6, he inflicts a mortal wound on Poxwalker for his charge.
Oof, almost. 2 attacks hitting on 3s.
Yep.
2 hits. Wounding on 3s. 1 wound.
1 wound. Can he take down the last Poxwalker? Yes, he can. Blacked. That's it for fairly successful Space Marine's turn 2, taking out that unit of Poxwalkers, which was kind of annoying. So we'll see what I can do about that as we go on to Death Guard turn 3. So that puts the Space Marines 1-0 on victory points ahead, not counting objectives at the moment. So I need to kill something at the very least in order to make points up. So but we're going to start with the Biologos Putrefy. He's going to move himself his full 5 inches over to here by that ammo crate. And then the Plague Marines are going to move up as well. They're going to come this way. 5 inches gets this guy to here. They've moved up like that. And then we'll go on to their shooting phase. And they are going to shoot at the Intercessors because it's the only target they can see. Now we'll start with the Champion's Plasma Gun. Actually again, so overcharging again because I'm still within range of that box. So hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s. 2 hits.
Wounding on 2s.
1 wound,
Whoa.
that 1 to wound again. So
has he got...
He has got cover from the point
Yeah,
of view.
they'd all have cover from that movie. So it's a 5+ armour save.
Yeah.
Nope.
So someone goes down.
The guy at the back.
We will then do the Hyper Blight Grenade. The Biologos Putrefy is going to give it to this guy. He's going to throw it. So it's D6 shots. 4. Hitting on 3 rolling 1s. 3 hits. With strength 4, so it moves on 4s. That's 2. Oh, it's 2 mortal wounds for double 6.
So one of them's going to die.
One of them's going to die anyway, but then you need to make a 2+ armour save to avoid the second one dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So other regular Intercessor dies.
Yeah, so those mortal wounds take him out, and then we've still got the blight launchers to go. 4 shots, 3 hits. Winning on 3 rolling 1s. No wounds. 1 wound. You've got a 4+ save because of cover.
Yeah.
You've made it. Dang it. And then we've got the remaining bolt gun. It's got 2 hits. He's got a wound. 2+ save. No,
Can't make that.
That's what takes him down a wound. And then the Biologos Putrefy is going to throw his own Hyper Blight Grenade at the Sergeant. Oh, in fact, he could throw. He might as well throw it at the No, I'm not going to get greedy. Yeah, he's going to throw it at the Sergeant. D6 shots. All 6. He's on 3s. Re-rolling 1s. That's 5 hits. That's 6 hits. Wounding on 4s. 6s cause mortal wounds. So, no 6s. Oh, I have 5 1s. Wow, but they're all re-rollable because it's a Blight Grenade. There we go. So there's some 6s there, so he gets mortal wounded to death. So the charge phase, the Plague Marines might as well charge the Inceptor because he can't see them. So there won't be any Overwatch. So they're going to roll a 9. That'll be enough to get them in. So I'll measure that and come back when I've moved them. They've moved in like that. Fight phase, they're going to pile in. And they're going to swing at him. So we'll start with the Champion with his Power Fist. 2 attacks hitting on 4s. And he's missed. Then we've got the other guys with their knives. 1 hit. Wounding on a 5. Ooh, I did.
3+ armour save.
No. He takes a wound. He gets to strike back. He's got 2 attacks.
Doing 3s.
Wounding on 5. That's a wound. Almost save. Yes, he's made past that. So that's it for Death Guard turn 3. Went quite well. So Space Marines turn 3. See if you can do anything about it.
So the Inceptor's going to move. You can get to the other side of this box.
Yep.
And then the Hellblaster's just going to move round.
Wonder what he's going to do.
So in the shooting phase, the Hellblaster is going to overcharge because he's within an inch.
Off the boxes, yeah.
Yep, shooting at the Plague Marines.
Okey-doke.
Hitting on 3s, rolling 1s. 2 hits. Wounding on 3s still.
Toughness 5. 1 wound.
No
I don't get an arm save because they're not in cover.
2 damage.
2 damage, so that means I have to make 2 disgustingly resilient rolls. I've made 1, but that's not enough, so one guy does get hit by that and go down, and it will be him.
And then the Inceptor's going to fire his assault bolters at the Biologos Putrefy.
Yes, because he's the closest visible target, so he can shoot him, because he's a character.
3 hits. Wounding on 4s. 1 wound.
Minus 1 AP from these assault bolters. So he takes a wound. Well, he gets some discussing resilient. No, he's failed that as well. So he's down to 3 wounds. And then charge phase, you're not even charged? No, no charges. No morale check for those Plague Marines. So on to Death Guard turn 4. Plague Marines, they're going to move slightly. So I'm not going to be able to get this guy out of cover, but I'll just move a bit. And I'm also going to get closer to the Inceptor so I can charge him if I want to afterwards. Biologos Putrefier will move a little bit like that. Shooting phase, the Plague Marines are going to shoot everything they've got at this Hellblaster. We're going to start with this guy. He's going to throw a Hyper Blight Grenade. The unit's within 3 inches of the Putrefier. So D6 potential hits. Oh, 1. Hitting on or 3, rerolling ones. It hit. Wounds on a 4. Oh, it inflicts a mortal wound for the 6 to wound, and you get an armor save.
2 plus armor save.
2 plus being cover. Oh, well, he gets blown away by that, and all the rest of the shooting's wasted. And then the Putrefier himself, he's going to throw his own grenade at that Inceptor. Twice. 2 hits, wounding on 5s. And there's a 6 for the mortal wound.
So he goes down straight away without an armor save?
Yeah, so that 6 inflicts a mortal wound, and he's gone. So that leaves the Death Guard in command of the field. No point totaling up the victory points for the objectives and so forth, because there's no one left to oppose them, so victory for the Death Guard. As I said, that's our only mission for this issue, so we're just going to do a brief recap of it. So that's it after the one game from issue 16 of Warhammer 40,000 Conquest. Well, what do you think of your brand new Space Marines?
Well, I will say that the Hellblasters on paper are a very deadly unit. Unfortunately, with only 2 of them, they don't quite have enough firepower to. They're a good counter to the Plague Marines, but there aren't really enough of them to eliminate the threat entirely. So you'll have to expose them to return fire, and there aren't enough of them to really survive. And the Inceptor, well, he didn't get to see too much. His flying ability is useful, but he's a bit like the Blight Hauler, where he needs more space to really shine, I think. Plus, normally I'd be able to deep strike him in a proper game, but we aren't playing with that because we technically haven't learned about deep striking.
No, that's that thing I mentioned earlier about we can deploy 9 inches away from an enemy unit, but yeah, as you say, we haven't got that yet, so that does make them more useful, especially on a much bigger battlefield.
You can put out a lot of fire, but again, it's only wounding Plague Marines on a 4 rather than a 5, and it's only OP -1, so it doesn't. And I hope you liked the Inceptor, because we're not going to see him for a long time until we're on the next battle map. So like issue 23, I think is the next time we see him. 22 maybe. Yeah,
and it's going to be even longer before he gets a mate to go around with him.
Gets a sergeant to lead him around.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd rather have a character than take a single Inceptor, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true. I think perhaps you did, in this mission, you did kind of feel the not having a character at all, because even Lieutenant Calcius, he's quite good, really, like chopping down Plague Marines in melee.
Yeah, having a melee, something to fight you in melee. And I probably did make an error. I probably should have tried to keep the Hellblasters with the Intercessors and move them into the middle so they weren't separated, but...
Yeah. I think I actually made a huge mistake in declaring the Intercessors as a charge target as well. If it had been most guys, then tying them up in melee is worth a couple of casualties in Overwatch, but the fact that you're being Ultramarine Successors can fall back and shoot, and did so quite effectively, cost me my Pockforkers basically, and they didn't do any damage on the charge anyway, so even tying that Hellblaster up was only of minimal value, to be honest.
Yeah, the rolling was a bit weird in that game. We either rolled really, really well or really badly each turn.
Yeah, it was quite polarised, wasn't it? And there was either we rolled a handful of 6s or a handful of 1s, and unfortunately the 6s came at the good times for me, and the 1s came at the bad times for you mostly. So
you getting the first turn as well. Due to the deformance style, it's kind of hard to hide. I mean, whoever gets to go first is going to be able to shoot something.
Yes, and now my Plague Marine unit is capable of taking your guys out. Even on a fairly average roll, I can do a lot of damage to your units with those now.
Shooting unit.
And overcharging that plasma gun thanks to the box, allowing me to reroll 1s to hit. Not that I rolled a 1 that needed to be rerolled, but that was also useful.
And you actually got to see that Biologos Putrefy is much more effective when he has people to support him.
Yeah,
and you can get 2 of the Hyper Blight Grenades out, and if you roll well for them.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, considering all the shade I cast on him when the first issue we got him, he is actually more useful when he has someone to support. As you say, being able to throw 2 Hyper Blight Grenades in one turn. Mortal wounds on a 6 is quite good. Plenty of chances to wound, then those 6s can add up. Well, that's all he did, but it was enough. Yeah,
and he's still a fairly tough unit. It's 4 wounds.
I've realised we forgot Death of the False Emperor again. I don't know if I actually rolled any 6s in melee, but...
I don't think...
So if I rolled any 6s and forgot to re-roll them, I'm sorry, it's a mistake. We might remember one day.
It wouldn't have made any difference in the long run.
No, it wouldn't have affected the outcome.
Because I would have been wiped a turn early.
With slightly less skewed dice rolling, it could have been closer, I suppose, and then the objectives might have come into play.
And I mean, it's just with the small armies, you're probably just going to wipe each other out before it comes to the turn limit, to be honest.
Yeah, pretty much. That does seem to happen. I don't think we've had many games going to the turn limit, have we? So that's it for this episode. If you've enjoyed this, then please leave a like and subscribe. If you have any thoughts about the battle, then feel free to leave a comment below. We've been the Tabletop Donkeys, and we'll see you in the next one.
Goodbye.